right, rolling on here. Heading towards the 5 o'clock hour. ESPN Reno, you heard it. ESPN Las Vegas, brought to you by Battleborn Injury Lawyer. 766-1400 is the call from anywhere in the state of Nevada. Number 775 in the North. Parles, Cofield. Let's bring in Chuck Esposito like we do at this time every week on Fridays. Chuck, of course, runs the STN book and the STN app. And there's an STN book at Treasure Island. Chuck Esposito, how are you, buddy? You know, it's interesting. We had one of our gambling experts on earlier, and he was talking about the NBA All-Star Weekend, and he didn't have much interest in it. And he's like, "Oh, books really don't, book it now. They're very careful in booking it." And I told him, I was like, "Man, I looked at the STN app. I was blown away by how active you guys are. You guys have got hyper aggressive about betting and opportunity. This is really great." Got it now.
So, Chuck, what are they betting right now for NBA All-Star Weekend?
Yeah.
Team more Stripes is the current favorite. USA Stripes, right, Chuck? All right, so USA Stripes, then Team World, and then USA Stars, the three teams in the All-Star game this weekend in LA. Chuck, one of my favorite contests of the whole year, you guys do it, and that is, of course, you do it for college football and the NFL. You do it for the big dance as well. What are the details, and when are signups going to be able to get going for the March Madness Last Man Standing?
Start the second quarter. He fixed this up now.
All right, Chuck, the goal for me, get past the first weekend. That's the goal this go around. Hey.
He's just playing around.
Oh, well, Gary, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Chuck, let's go to the game involving the local team here tonight. Boise State hosting UNLV. The Rebs on the road. They actually beat these Broncos here in Vegas a few weeks ago. What are you guys looking at right now?
They actually beat these Broncos here in Vegas a few years ago. Six-footer. That's a six-footer.
Basketball.
I can't reach with that thing.
Sorry.
before we look at the weekend, and then one prop that was brought up to us earlier in the show, to see if you guys may potentially be interested in throwing it up there. Just looking at the future book, obviously Arizona lost for the first time this year earlier this week to Kansas. Michigan has been dominant. The UConn, even though they've been not as good recently, still a potential 1 seed. What are the bettors looking at in the futures book? Double digits in that game, right, Chuck? Arizona 9.5 against Texas Tech. Tonight there's another one actually I want to bring up to you. Wisconsin got just a monster win, big upset in Champaign against Illinois earlier this week. Now they return home. They've taken on the Spartans, and Michigan State is a 2-point road favorite. Chuck, one other game tomorrow I want to hit on. It's a big one in the WCC, and it's not involving a Gonzaga versus St. Mary's game, which has been a rarity of the last few years. It is Gonzaga. They're on the road at Santa Clara, a team that is right on the bubble right now. These two teams played in Spokane about 3 weeks ago. Santa Clara was tied at halftime and then in the second half. Just over a possession right now, 3.5 with the Zags in Santa Clara tomorrow. Right? Are there any other games tomorrow that you guys have your eyeballs on behind the camera?
Chuck Esposito's up on ESPN Reno and ESPN Las Vegas, Cofield and Company, and of course STN Book and the betting kiosk are at Treasure Island, where Jeff is right now, is on courtside here in Boise, getting ready for the Boise State UNLV game. Chuck, for futures in the NFL, do you guys kind of tiptoe in when you start really firing some options up there? Good. Mm. Chuck, we got about a minute left. Let's go back to the beginning of the week with news, and that was that the handle in the state of Nevada was 133 million at the books. The win was around 7.5%. Every book's different, though. I think the state won about 10 million. Did you guys do okay? Did you win?
A little bit excited as we take a look at the NBA All-Star Weekend skit. After the Rising Stars 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock, then the NBA H16 Classic.
Oh.
Eastern Time on Peacock. ESPN and NBA take Saturday. And the All-Star Saturday, Sunday.
Last one, I always find this interesting because every book's a little bit different. How did you guys do on the props?
Okay. It's now time
Okay.
for second bonus.
Mm. Chuck, thanks for the spot, man. Great job. We'll talk to you next Friday. Have fun this weekend. There he is, Chuck Esposito. If you download the STN app right now, you get up to a $50 no-worry wager. I'm telling you, this is one of the deepest wagering menus for NBA All-Star Weekend. So if you're into it, even if you're not, you might look up there and go, oh, I can bet this, and now watch it. The favorite for the 3-point contest is rookie Con Knipple, which I think is a little rich at plus 340. I don't think I would bet that. Bobby Portis at 12-1. I might root for a big fella, 6'11" guy from the prairie. Come on, Jeff, don't shake your head. Give the big guy a chance.
Devin Booker.
I think he's plus 750 at STN. And that note I mentioned about prop betting for Super Bowl 60 and how each book did. I did talk to a bookmaker, and he's like, we lost. We actually lost on the props. I was kind of blown away by that. I thought most books do really well on the props. But in his case, not so much.
Moving along nicely.
I have never felt like this before, and I don't.
Well, and a few of those things is when
Oh, I love
one of the conversations we had about video feed that really is mixed with the audio. The audio is delayed. So you have to find a way to play video. Unfortunately, that is not. There is a way to do it if you're fine with a used product. But if you buy a brand new one that's
I don't care. Everything.
but that's one of the things because the used they're broadcasting. So we have to figure out which one to do. And playing video, if you want, you can go the other way. Playing video, we found out that 15 miles or 5 well, 15 miles is 1 second. Wasn't it?
Oh, it's a real head like a blue.
Yeah, 165
Yeah, all right, here we go. Friday. Fun. About 11 people at Extra Mile Arena just turned around. They're like, what is this Dippy doing over there yelling? That's what I do. I'm excited. It's the final hour of a Friday. 6:30, we'll go to the IBEW Nika Running Rebel warm-up pregame with CT and Matt with Tip at 7 o'clock. Later this hour, we're going to talk to Mike Prater on the ground here in Boise. He's one of the big radio stars and always gives us a pretty honest appraisal of what the Broncos have to offer and what the fan base is thinking as Boise has come back from a 1-5 hole in the Mountain West Conference. That was their record, including a loss early to UNLV in overtime at the Thomas & Mack. So they'll be looking for revenge. So Prater's coming up in about 25 minutes. Let's continue talking some NFL. Every week and on every show, we talk about food. So there's no one better for that than Chef Mark McMillan with Jeff Parles and Steve Cofield. What's going on, Mark? There you go. Is that right? All right. Unless I come over and then he smells cat all over me and then he might rip an arm off. So I could, in that case, I might bring some angst to the McMillan household. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about angst with Max Crosby and the Raiders. But let's talk about some of the positives first with the Raiders and the Clint Kubiak press conference. I don't know if you got a chance to check in on that thing, and wonder what your reaction was if you saw some of the clips. And the other thing is, the football community is very small. Do you have connections with anyone who played or coached with Kubiak or has a respect, facing him? What's your impression of the new Raiders head coach? Mark, how crazy is this going to be with the Mendoza analysis, and how do the Raiders handle it so that they don't have to say they're taking him, if they are going to take him, until very, very close to the draft?
Just jump up there and turn him on.
Also, I'm sure much interest to the NFL, and Mendoza is not Mexican, but maybe a Mexico City game could become a regular thing to bring in Latino fans, especially if Mendoza turns into a mega or a really good quarterback, a top 10 quarterback.
Was that Bronson?
You guys? I guess I should check it out.
Mark McMillan is with us here on Cofield and Company, ESPN Las Vegas. Mark, with all the teams you had stops with, was there a front office situation, whether it was the GM, other people who were influencers in the front office, the owner, where the players were like, this is weird, man? Yeah.
I know. This in theory would be us, but I didn't do marketing. I didn't. All the sun was stealing.
So, Mark, there was a reason I asked you that question. I did want to find out about, Discord within an organization, but we got a report this week from a New England insider and an NFL insider who said Max may be irked because the way the injury thing was communicated a couple of weeks before the end of the season, he didn't like that. And one of the guys who communicated it with him to him was Alex Guerrero, who is Tom Brady's buddy and does have sort of a position with the Raiders. Greer actually mentioned that a lot of things need to be run by Guerrero. You remember, he's one of the guys who was a big reason that Brady and Belichick splintered. So that's where I'm getting a little curious here about what's going on, because I thought the last month or so with the Raiders was Shangri-La. I'm like, hey, everyone's in line. No one's leaking stuff. I'm like, what is going on here with Alex Guerrero?
And I think Arcade after
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last thing you want in Vegas is what the Eagles dealt with A.J. Brown. You know, it's funny, too, though. It's funny. I saw two different NFL conversations about, hey, if Mendoza is the guy in Las Vegas, he's going to need an experienced receiver. Why not go and get A.J. Brown or George Pickens? And I'm like, no, neither one of them, please. Yeah. Chef Mark is with us. Taste of the NFL last weekend at the Super Bowl in San Fran. The third time you've done it. You've made 3 different food items. Was last week's the best?
Somebody's here. I don't know.
Mark McMillan, who is also the GM of the Las Vegas Rockers International Arena Football League, is debuting in Vegas. 5 teams in the States, 5 teams in Europe. As you're trying to put a team together, one of the key dates is going to be open tryouts. Do you guys have a date set on that one? Yeah, as I've said, pretty much every spot as we talk about the Rockers, I think we means Cofield and Company will be on the road with you as well. So I met with your boss, Tom, and one of the things he accentuated was that this is going to be about fun. Tons of giveaways, lots of promotions. He also mentioned something about really good fan access during the games. Usually there's like big walls of glass. What are you guys planning for the fan interaction? There you go. My ears actually perked up when you said dancers. Do you have a line to try and book the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show dancers?
I've never said anything crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. LasVegasRockers.com. Check it out, LasVegasRockers.com. You can get your tickets now. Very affordable. Season starts on April 18th as Mark McMillan is with us, the GM of the Rockers. Woo! Mark, you are the man. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you, buddy. I'm careful. I did my eating and drinking last night, which we'll recap in the grab bag. Coming up next, we're going to talk to one of the big media stars here, Mike Prater, who does sports radio for KTIK in Boise. He'll give us a feel for what the Boise State Broncos look like late. They won 6 of 7, and what the matchup entails against UNLV.